something massive is headed toward our solar system. It's not a spaceship, not an asteroid, and certainly not something ordinary. This time, it's a cometon, absolutely colossal one. Scientists are calling it the biggest comet ever seen in recorded history. It's unlike anything the human race has ever witnessed in modern astronomy. Forget every comet you've ever seen or heard about. This one rewrites the rules entirely. Officially named C-2023 A3. This enormous icy wanderer is now making its slow but inevitable journey, and the latest updates about it are not only fascinating but genuinely astonishing, sending ripples of excitement through the global scientific community. The story of Solaris started quietly. It was first detected in early 2023 by the Transiting X survey satellites during routine sky scans. What appeared to be a faint moving object was flagged as a potential new comet. At first, astronomers thought it was just another Earth cloud, object distant, cold, and fairly insignificant in the grand scheme of things. But then something didn't add up. Its brightness was far too intense for something at that distance. Naturally, the world's most powerful telescopes were quickly redirected to investigate. What followed stunned everyone. The Hubble Space Telescope confirmed that this was no ordinary comet. Preliminary measurements revealed a coma, the glowing cloud of dust and gas surrounding the nucleus stretching nearly 130,000 kilometers. That's more than 10 Earths lined up side by side. But even more, Jodrepine was the nucleus itself, the heart of the comet. Radar ratings and thermal imaging suggested it was a staggering 85 miles wide, twice the size of the previous record-holding Comet Halley. To put this into perspective, most comets are only a few miles across. Even the famous Halley's Comet is a tiny pebble in comparison, measuring just over 7 miles wide. Solaris isn't just baguettes, a planetary-scale chunk of ice, rock, and frozen gases. And it's coming closer. What makes Solaris even more extraordinary is where it came from. This monster comet hails from the Oort cloud's shell of icy objects that exists nearly a light-year from the Sun. The Oort cloud is so far away that it's barely held together by the Sun's gravity. For billions of years, Solaris drifted in complete darkness, untouched and unchanged since the dawn of the solar system. Something, possibly a passing star or gravitational waves from the galactic core, nudged it, sending it on a trajectory that will bring it through the inner solar system for the first time in perhaps millions of years. But Solaris isn't behaving like a typical comet. Most comets only begin to heat up and release gas when they pass the orbit of Jupiter. Solaris, however, started out gassing, releasing jets of gas and dust when it was still beyond Neptune's orbit. Scientists quickly realized that the comet contains large amounts of supervolatile compounds, like carbon monoxide and molecular nitrogen, which can sublimate or turn directly from solid to gas at extremely low temperatures. This early activity is not only unusual, it's unprecedented. Never before has humanity observed a comet starting to wake up while still in the deep freeze of the outer solar system. The James Webb Space Telescope then focused its gaze on Solaris, delivering data that changed everything. The spectrometer detected something: wild organic molecules, hydrocarbons, and traces of amino acids frozen within the comet's icy shell. These are the fundamental building blocks of life. That discovery reignited a long-standing theory in astrobiology that life's essential ingredients could have been delivered to Earth via ancient cometary impact. In a very real sense, Solaris could be a time capsule containing the original materials that helped spark life on Earth billions of years ago. But there's more. As Solaris approaches, it continues to behave in ways that defy expectations. Its surface appears to reflect more sunlight than any other known comet, indicating that it is coated in crystalline ison, extremely rare form of ice that only forms under very specific conditions. Scientists are also baffled by irregular heat signatures coming from its core. Some theorists suggest that internal radioactive decay could be heating parts of Solaris from within, a phenomena never before documented in a comet. If true, this would change everything we know about how comets form and evolve. The trajectory of Solaris has been recalculated several times as more data becomes available. The latest models predict that it will pass within 1.2 astronomical units of Earth, just a bit farther than the distance from the Earth to the Sun. Close enough for a spectacular show in our night skies, but far enough to pose zero danger to the planet. At its closest approach, Solaris is expected to become brighter than Venus, potentially even visible during daylight in some parts of the world. Its tail, or possibly multiple tails, will likely stretch across half the night sky, creating a once-in-a-lifetime cosmic spectacle visible to the naked eye. NASA, the European Space Agency, and even private companies like SpaceX are now in discussions about a rapid response mission to intercept Solaris. The idea is to launch a spacecraft that could fly alongside the comet, collect data, and maybe even grab a sample to bring back to Earth. A mission like this would be a historic opportunity analyzing a pristine piece of the early solar system that has never been altered by the sun's radiation until now. It's like finding a time capsule from 4.6 billion years ago. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers are having the time of their lives tracking Solaris. Even with modest backyard telescopes, the comet's growing coma and developing tail are now visible, glowing faintly against the black canvas of deep space. Social media is exploding with stunning images and videos, with space enthusiasts worldwide eagerly sharing updates as the comet gets brighter with each passing day. But there's also a growing concern not about Solaris itself, but about what it could stir up. Some gravitational models suggest that Solaris' massive size could disrupt small objects in the asteroid belt, or even nudge distant icy bodies from the Kuiper belt into new orbits. While the chances are remote, there is a theoretical risk that its passage could trigger a delayed cosmic cascade, future increase in meteor showers, or near objects years, or even decades down the line. Space agencies are monitoring this possibility closely, adding another layer of mystery. Radio telescopes aimed at Solaris have picked up faint but persistent radio emissions coming from the comet. Scientists believe these signals are natural, likely resulting from interactions between the solar wind and the charged particles being released by the comet. Still, the unusual strength and consistency of these signals are something researchers have never seen before with any other comet. Naturally, this has fueled a wave of wild speculation online, from claims of hidden alien probes to theories about ancient cosmic technology buried inside Solaris. While there is absolutely no scientific evidence to support such ideas, the excitement and wonder surrounding this comet are very real. Governments worldwide are treating this event as an opportunity for public education and engagement. NASA has launched an online tracker that allows anyone to follow Solaris's position in real time. Schools and planetariums are preparing programs around the comet's arrival, turning this rare celestial event into a massive global teachable moment. Public interest in space has skyrocketed, with media coverage of Solaris rivaling that of major planetary missions as we get closer to its peak visibility, expected in late 2025. The science community is entering a critical window. Every day brings new data, new surprises, and new questions. Observatories are working around the clock, and international collaborations are pushing the limits of what humanity can learn from this visitor from the edge of the solar system. At its core, Solaris is more than just ice and dust. It's a messenger from the primordial past. Everything inside it predates not just Earth, but the formation of the planets themselves. When you look at Solaris, you're staring directly into the building blocks that formed the Sun, the Earth, and every living thing on this planet. It's a humbling, almost spiritual experience, a direct connection to the universe's earliest moments. And after it passes Solaris, will likely continue its journey back to the depths of space, possibly returning to the Oort cloud, or being ejected entirely from the solar system, destined to drift between the stars for the rest of eternity. But the data, the images, and the lessons it leaves behind will stay with humanity forever. In a time when so much of life feels confined to the boundaries of Earth, Solaris reminds us of the vastness of space, the mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and our never-ending desire to explore the unknown. The countdown has begun. Soon, the skies will light up with the glow of the largest comet humanity has ever seen. Stay ready. Keep watching, because this is a moment that future generations will read about, a time when the universe reached out once again to remind us that we are part of something far greater, something infinite.